All right, so this is day 3 of trying to diagnose what the hell's going on with this thing, just to catch people up to speed. Got it tuned, drove it home, pulled it out the next morning, probably drove it for about 40-50 miles, and on the highway, conked out, lost all fuel pressure. Brought it back, having issues getting power to the pump. Eventually dropped the tank. Looked at the connections inside the pump. Connections were bad. The wires literally just fell right out of the harness. Repinned it, put it back in. Great fuel pressure. Once you go turn it over, it was bogged down completely. Labored, to say the least, to get it actually started. Had to, I wouldn't even say massage the throttle. Had to beat the shit out of the throttle to get it going. When I finally got it going, it was really running rough, and it's running fat right now, to the point where the fumes like burn my eyes. So, talking to FiTech today, because the AFR learn was negative 32%, they believe I have an exhaust leak. So I rigged up this wonderful apparatus. See if you can see it. Oh, there it is. Blocked off that exhaust pipe, taped my shop vac to the exhaust. We're gonna blow air in it. Gonna get under the car, start spraying with some suds, the snow foam and water, and hopefully we get something from this. If not, I got a vacuum gauge. We'll check the vacuum on it. Sorry for the glare. But we're just gonna kind of go through the diagnostic and try to figure out what the hell's going on, because I don't know. I've already replaced the O2 sensor. I got a code on the FiTech system. There were 2 codes that came up. RPM noise, which I disconnected all the wires, kind of cleared that all up, got it away from some of the ignition wires, and that code has not come back. I then replaced an O2 sensor on a brand new system, and who knows, maybe it's fine. I just need to clean it off a little bit. I don't know if you can see, it's pretty mucked up, and this is probably after, I don't know, cumulatively not even 1,000 miles in one dyno session. So the reason why I replaced this was on the FiTech system, I was getting a O2 open heat code. So did that. I also ended up replacing all my plugs. And it's funny, I recently did like a quick short about how every 3rd gen owner hates dropping the tank. Then I started getting some other comments of like what people never want to do on a 3rd gen. Spark plugs was one of them. And I thought it was comical because literally 2 days later, here I am replacing the spark plug. So this is what the spark plugs look like. They're pretty fouled up. I don't know. Again, this is minimal miles, so it's running super rich. Obviously, I broke them off so I can get them all out. I ended up going with the Acel Shorty plugs, which, lifesaver. Those things are well worth its weight in gold, because I was actually able to get all the plugs on fairly easily, get them all nice and snug on there, where if you've seen other videos I've mentioned, I was kind of questioning how tight my plugs were, and looking at some of the carbon buildup on some of them, like how far down the threads it went. I think it was a valid, I mean, it's all the way down the threads. So I don't know if that's any indication of anything, but that's probably a good indication that this one really wasn't seated very well. So that's where we're at. I'm going to try this little thing, see if I actually have an exhaust leak, and take it from there. So stay tuned, we'll be back. So yeah, there's a lot of exhaust leaks. Now, I get it. Exhaust leaks near the back side of the exhaust aren't going to do anything. However, an exhaust leak at the collector pipe, not at the collector, but the same pipe as it goes, so you got the pipe that goes to the header, you got the collector, no leak there. But that same pipe going to the, I guess you want to call it the Y pipe, right at that connection, it is leaking. Went to go tighten it up, snapped the bolt. So I probably got to look at some other type of band that goes on there that might work a little bit better. But listen, this is the third night in a row trying to diagnose what's going on with this car. Thumbs up to Alex over at FiTech. He's the one who's like, you got an exhaust leak. 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. And it's funny because I was talking to, myself included, I doubted it completely. Doubted it 100%. I'm like, I would have heard an exhaust leak. But sure as shit, it's an exhaust leak. Hopefully that is the issue. And once I get this band, exhaust clamps, or whatever you want to call it, it fixes the issue and we can get back to getting things done. So first night in 3 nights, I'm feeling a little bit more positive. I cussed this thing out last night after switching out the plugs and double checking the distributor cap and the wires and getting it to top dead center and confirming number 1, and yeah. So I get, these are the trials and tribulations of trying to figure shit out. So great progress today, at least in my mind it is. We'll go at. All right, so we did the test and we definitely got an exhaust leak. I'll show you some stuff that I probably should have noticed before, but I didn't. So we're going to attempt on getting this thing sealed up, and hopefully day 4 of trying to diagnose and get this thing squared away will be all done. So bear with me. We'll get a nice little look-see here. So I've kind of wiped it off a little bit, but where are we? Right there. Don't know if you can see it, but all right here is just pissing out air on that one. And then on this one down over here, right there, you can see it all right there too. So we're going to clean that up. We got new band clamps that we're going to put on. I'm going to try to do it without any cement first, and then if that works, great. If it doesn't work, then we're going to go with some muffler cement with the clamps to lock it up. So we'll see how this goes. Day 5 of just hell. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster, that's for sure. Over the past week, we have redone the spark plugs, redone the wires, replaced the O2 sensor, and put on band clamps on the exhaust, trying to get this thing to run because it was running super fat, super rich, and it was just kind of bag of nuts. Today, worked on it again as well. Got like a number of different codes, reset the tune, and we are gonna pop beers. Oh, we're popping buds. Because if you noticed, this thing's facing inward. Got her running, took her out around the neighborhood a couple times, took the kids in the car. They had a blast. The crazy thing is, and my father made the comment of Alfred Hitchcock, Christine. It's this thing. I think I might name it Christine. Oddly enough, it's my wife's name too, which is kind of funny. But Christine here all of a sudden has fucking reverse and drive. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I really, at this point, I don't give a shit. I'm just glad I got reverse, I got drive. Third, second, first. Turns on. It's not running rich. Things are good. Things are good. We're moving in forward direction. So, cheers. This thing's finally up and running. I still got to do the TV cable. That thing's fucked. I got a new one. I've decided I'm just going to bring it to the transmission shop, have them help me out do that. Probably easier. Have them set it right. And I'm also going to leave them with the car and have them just install the Hurst shifter. I'm just going to let them do it. They'll get the geometry accurate. They'll get it all squared away. And yeah, because I want that Hurst shifter. Like, that thing's the balls. So the good news is she's running. Thank God. There was a lot of fuel. Well, I don't know about how much, because when I dumped all the oil out and put it back in the 5-quart jug of oil that I put in the car, it didn't overfill. So it couldn't have been too much fuel in there, but definitely fuel in the oil. I don't think I got any ring wash or anything like that. I don't know what it would sound like even if I did. Let me take a sip of this. Just hits right when you're getting somewhere. God damn, that's a good beer. So yeah, man, we got it running again. We got it running. I got to figure out the shifter thing, but hopefully save on transmission. Listen, those guys, they're in Hyde Park, Mass. Dave down there, you could just tell he's a good dude. He's just a good dude. I've enjoyed working with him. I had a long conversation with him, kind of filling him in on what was going on. And he's like, dude, just get the engine running. Don't blow it up. Because at one point I thought I had no oil pressure. Because I couldn't get the car turned over. Like, it's been very frustrating trying to get this thing to turn on. The other day it would turn over, start, probably stay on for maybe 10, 15 seconds, and then die. And then it went through like this repeated series of turning on, starting, dying, and every single time it got shorter and shorter and shorter to the point where it wouldn't even turn over. I talked to FiTech, and he was like, disconnect the fuel pump and see if it will turn on. And then he had me try to mess with like the fuel settings. So I disconnected the fuel pump, turned it over. Well, what he said was, get all the gas out of there first. Got all the gas out of there. The thing turned right on. Disconnected the fuel pump. Thing turned right over. And it stayed on. Christine. That's it. It's the name. My wife will think it's because of her. I'll get brownie points for that. But the reality is, Hitchcock, Christine. So I connected the fuel pump again and it worked. I don't know, maybe I flooded the engine to the point where like I just needed to burn off the excess fuel that was in there, and maybe that's what was bogging it down, causing it to run rich, but it's not running rich anymore. The AFR learn is at a -7%, which from my understanding, you want to get as close to 0. And as long as you're under 10%, you're good. So we're good. We did it so far. We're almost there. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll be starting to do some fun stuff in this car. I'm probably going to get maybe a GoPro so we can actually film some burnouts, which I can't wait to do. I can't wait to beat on this thing now that I actually have it running. But yeah, it's been a crazy journey, that's for sure. For those that have been staying tuned for, I think this is now almost 8 months of this build. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the feedback. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I have enjoyed this. Once we get the transmission shifter taken care of, we're gonna move on to Ranchero. A little bit of a different beast. It's a 1991 Silverado. I guess what everyone calls them is a OBS. It's a long bed, which from everything I understand, nobody wants the long bed, so it kind of fits into my vibe, where it's like I'd rather do the shit that nobody wants to do. It does have the 4.3. I'm not going to keep that one. I want a V8. I think what we're going to do with that is turn that into a stroker, most likely. I already got my eyes on a block that's been bored over 30 already, so that'd be a perfect candidate for it. I might even keep it carbureted. Who knows? With the way this has gone, it's been a pain in the balls. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds. But great news tonight. Christine is running, and till next time, guys. Be safe. Have a good one.